So today I'm having very good conversation lately on Facebook, especially with one person, and it goes somewhere. It's like a conversation with God. You know, I find often that spiritual people are like religious people. What they tend to do, they want you to accept their point of view. That's what it matters. That's all that matters. For example, if they believe in UFO, then you have absolutely to believe in UFO. If not, they don't interested to talk with you. Well, it's the same thing with Christian or Muslim, you know. It's always about that. I mean, I had a very good teacher of Ayurveda, and I gave her the book, of Course of Miracle, and it take all the Christian archetype as the mythology to explain the mystery of the universe, and she wouldn't even read the book because for her the words were too close. She preferred to go in her Hinduist mythology, and for her it's acceptable to talk to God in that manner. But God is one mind, is all of us. It's billion, trillion of a conversation, and it's unimaginable what God is. God is the capacity to love it all. It's one heart. So it doesn't it is not necessary to change other people's mind. It's only necessary to practice in one mind, one's own mind. And then when this is done, we are practicing in the field of oneness because there's only sharing through our mind, not our body, which is an illusion. So when I'm practicing whatever are my beliefs for myself in my mind, I am simply acknowledge that I am the Son of God in all his oneness that there is. And then it any paradox, any unimaginable paradox or contradiction of opposite, it's even unimaginable because God is all of that. And it encompasses all of it. That is what it is one. People tend not to get what is one because we live in the world of separation. And when we talk about oneness, people tend to see one and discarding all the other one. When I believe it's the opposite, one is the addition of all of us, not in our agreement, but in our difference, in our belief that we are not the same. But that belief, it doesn't matter in oneness because it's all encompassing and all accepting of all of us. So one is all of us in disagreement, in opposition, in paradoxal situation. So there's no need for me right now to tell you what I believe. I can only prove that my beliefs are working for me. In the book, for me, that is the most dear to my heart, A Course in Miracle, it is said to as always ask oneself that question. How is that working for you? And if you have the answer, it's good. Well, great. Then you have it. But if you don't have that answer, good. Well, you see, well, then practice otherwise. I'm always asking God to prove itself to myself. I start having faith the day that I said out loud in my mind, I don't believe in you. And then when I said that, instead of pretending and stopping my own self by lying to myself that I do believe in something that I cannot comprehend, there was a switch and something happened. Proof, I start showing up in all situations all the time. And that's what I'm doing right now by living my dying situation fully because I'm preparing myself simply to be sure that at that point of my last breath is going to show up. So I'm not saying I believe in some sort of heavenly places for me and I am so sure I'm going to end up there. No, I'm saying I don't believe in that, but keep showing it to me, and it does, because then I'm not blocking the reality of all there is, and something very mysterious are always happening to me. So, but because my fear is so big about dying, then it has to show itself bigger all the time and building my own capacity of accepting grander things than who I am. And for me, that's exactly what I want at the last moment in this body, in my journey on earth. I want at the end seeing for sure that reaching hand to me from God. I want to die in pure joy, in pure calmness, and pure serenity. But I am practicing it now while I am alive. I'm not waiting at the last moment because I am so unfaithful without any faith. Because how could I believe in things that are unbelievable for my mind? I can only put some space in it, allowing myself to accept the ununderstandable, the incomprehensible. And that's it, because that moment is going to be like the biggest experience of my non-comprehension of things. But if at that point my mind has allowed to accept that, so instead of by my resistance blocking what I don't know, I'll be okay because I'm going to be able to accept the unknown. And the unknown, again, for the ego, it means something that you don't know, that is impossible to know. But for oneness, it means all there is. The unknown is simply the fact of accepting all that, what seems to me, that fragmentation of the oneness here on earth, in the separation, in that density. And by encompassing it all, not in the outside world, but in my mind, in my capacity to love all of us in our difference, our disagreement. And that's what it counts. And truly, surely, even if we sort of agree, each person has his own perception of things. It cannot be otherwise.